Namaste, Lords. We're going to get very deep in this video. This is going to be a very grounding, sacred session. We have Grandfather Tobacco, which is going to be supporting this message, and I'm going to completely get out of the way and allow the Father to use thee as thy peace, to surrender my lower consciousness and ego mind identity to the Spirit, the Great Spirit, the Divine Mother, Grandfather Tobacco, and we're going to get out of the way. So this is a cheers to the wish fulfilled, and a surrender to that knowing, to that being, for your godhood becomes your true power once this third dimension has zero effect upon your state of being. Your God power awakens when you are in complete, total dominion over the sense man, over sensory analysis, over perception of phenomena. You start to come into that realization that you are one with your world and that you are the master of your experience and that nothing is separate from you. So special gratitude. Isn't it wonderful that something great is happening to you now? Let's take a deep breath because we are about to really go in. I'm going to straight channel the spirit of nature and just allow Grandfather to really speak through out of reverence and out of respect to the Christ within. Let's do this. Intention is everything when it comes to the shamanic path, to where one becomes a purified vessel through the fire of affliction, through the pain, becomes the medicine. The pain becomes the medicine, and it is a alchemical process. We are going to be speaking from the higher mind. There is no electromagnetic interference from the lower self or the ego. We are going to connect with that green energy. That is why I'm rocking the green, because we are speaking from that Christed center, the sacred heart. Ahoya. Gratitude. So you're going to be feeling this energy as well. It's going to ground you. It's going to really clear your energy. It's going to allow you to be more receptive to the message. This is at Fuente Grand Reserve, Madura. You know the vibe. So we're just going to get ultra chill. How does that sound? Let's kind of get this thing cooking a little bit. And it's more of a sacred energy when it comes to tobacco, real organic tobacco. It's been aged, it's been treated with intention, and this really connects me to my Native American ancestors, the Shawnee. And that was kind of what was coming through me when I first began walking out here. I felt that grandfather spirit. Had a bit of a song for you. Hey ya, hey yo, hey ya, hey ya, hey yo, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey, hey yo, hey ya, hey ya, hey yo, hey yeah, hey, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey yo. Beautiful, right? Now that's the power of that deeper surrender when we can get out of the way and we can allow just that energy, that raw, vital earth spirit to really come through us. And I always call in, the positive spirits of the five elements to always intervene and to be great helpers when it comes to these messages. And what I feel for you today is coming to this moment. Really grounding. Really grounding into the message. And we start to feel our power return. That your innate strength through all the trials that you've been through in the past couple of years is now starting to make sense why you went through what you went through. And it was really all a forge. It was really all a beautiful revelation for you to come into. Now, as you know, the I am, whatsoever you desire is already given. And I felt this shift. Even when I walked out of the door, I felt like the millionaire. I felt like it. I just felt like it. You'll feel it. Your consciousness, it'll take over. It's something bigger because the I am creates the experience. And it suddenly came to this realization to where that I am power has complete, when your higher self, it has complete dominion over all the senses, all of it, all reaction, everything that is coming through these sense gates, the hearing, the eyes, what you're seeing. You start to shift that perspective and you realize that you're totally untouched, that you are totally untouched from it all. And it's really just coming to that choice to where, okay, this doesn't have to affect me. Thank you, Father, for shining. So I've been feeling it arriving. I have a nice little story for you guys, kind of living proof of the law, which I've recently experienced today. So as I woke up, I felt very just, it was kind of heavy. I was laying down. I was like, damn, I felt the pingings of the shadow, right? The old reality. And I felt doubt coming up. I felt a lot of doubt coming up to just want to give up, stop the crystal business and just quit it all. Clearly that was just the old man putting his last attempts to put the sleeping giant back to sleep, but that's not going to happen. But something woke up into me. This is going to hit you guys. It's bigger than me. None of this is for my ego. This is for the service of the Spirit, of Christ coming through. It's in those moments when you're laying down, feeling like shit. Suddenly you will rise. You will feel the Spirit come through you like a lightning bolt, and there's something in me shot up. It shot up, either your ancestors, what you want to call it. There's always a greater indomitable force within you that will be able to literally become unstoppable no matter what is occurring within your experience, because it's all there to serve you in that strength and in that remembrance. So I got up, I went to the gym. I had a piece of that tiger's eye on me. I was working out. I saw someone at the gym, and it was either intuitive, but I just walked up to him. I walked up to him, I showed him the crystal, I had it roped up for him. And I was like, hey, this is a South African tiger's eye. Something wanted me to give this to you. So at first he kind of hesitated for a little bit, and then I showed him the website, a little bit of what I was doing, just straight shooting it, just really grounded in the Mojo, in this frame, right, the frame. I showed him the site, and then we end up freaking, connection. This is funny because this was in my imagination a week or two ago, when nothing seemed to be happening, when just shit was just crumbling, and I was like, what the, So we start connecting, we start chopping it up, telling him about the holistic, the HECPAD scan and everything. And he starts going through the website. Eventually we start talking, and he gave me an opportunity to go to one of his realtors or something. Apparently he creates artist-based houses, like creative houses where local artists come together and they put their work in there. And it actually creates that ambience for people to want to buy a home. So we started going in on that, and he offered for me to allow my crystals to get set up in there, kind of like a entryway to where when they come in, they can check out the pieces and just kind of the vibe, So we were talking about feng shui and all that. But it was funny because he ended up buying the tiger's eye. And I was literally the exact imagination. But this is the funny part I noticed with the law, is you don't know the how. You don't know when it's going to happen. It'll just happen in the moment. And you'll feel the spontaneity of where you go for it. So I just felt it and I went for it right there. And then he ended up going through the website, showing him other pieces, and he wanted to get some more for his daughter. So he wanted to get a couple more. It wasn't about really, and we talked about that, and I resonated with what he said. I just totally entered that student mindset to where I was really learning. I was really absorbing his wisdom, because I feel like everyone has some sort of wisdom to share. And we talked about how the money's really just a side effect. It's not the main focus. And it's when you do what you love, the money will follow. I love that. Do what you love, the money will follow. So that was great. That was really my first real emotional act becoming some sort of experience. So this is when you realize you're God, because you're able to affect the 3D. You're able to affect it from the causal plane of your imagination, and to really have these little scenes that are so vivid and detailed to where you start to really bring it into the 3D. But this is the thing, 3D is always going to be lying to you. It's going to show you the past, usually. And you won't know when it comes, but you will feel the intuitive nudge, right, to just go out for it, and you'll just be led. The spirit will lead you, the energy will lead you. This is the beauty of the higher mind. You'll know who to talk to, what to say, and what to do without even thinking. It'll come through. So that was a little something that I wanted to share. A little crystal sale thing, that just came from my imagination, or something that I've been doing for a minute, just resting in a state. So let's kind of get comfortable in this, Lords. It's going to get to a point to where it doesn't matter what the 3D is really showing, the phenomenal plane, if you want to call it, of the senses. This is when we really this is when you really step into it like no other. Because your state of consciousness, you're in that parallel reality, just like Christ talks about, all is a mind, mentalism. Christ actually practiced mentalism. This is how he's able to heal and do all types of miracles, because he was coming from the all, right? The spirit, as it's called in the Kabbalion, the all is the mind. It's starting in there. You're going to have counted that. You're going to have counted that million in your consciousness before you ever did in the 3D. And it's going to come, because it's already here on a timeline. And I started seeing the gestation period of these kind of reflections that kind of leak down into here. I'm going to give you the freaking hack. Off the top, what I really just know right now, it's a strong knowing. It's a clear, sentient type of knowing. Your main thing to do is to not even react to the circumstance, the condition. It doesn't matter. You will just be in the state. You will be in the state of the one that is occupying the wish. You won't even be looking for it. You'll just know what to do. Like, it's kind of trippy, but you will check yourself. You become increasingly more intelligent with your awareness over the ego mind identity, or over the old man, we could say, because it's really all connected. So you'll see that. You will notice, you will have that antenna out to realize, okay, is this the old man 3D shadow looking to make moves, or is this the new man Christ itself, the real you, the I am miracle machine, moving through? And you'll feel its energetic quality of when it's showing up. So just realize that. Man, is you feeling really wealthy? I am. Kind of celebrate, Lords. It's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling, to where your entire reality could look like it's falling to a shitbag wreck, but you're still creating heaven on earth. This is a universal law. You can only experience what you really are. Dude, the whole world could be going to World War Z apocalypse. You could be creating freaking paradise in your own reality, because you're the only operant power of your universe. This is something I'm starting to realize. It doesn't actually matter what's happening on the surface. It's what I felt. It's making you stronger, because guess what? You can be around so-called others in their universe and kind of hold the light for them, kind of hold the way, just by you doing it, without even really trying. And while I'm speaking on it, I performed my first miracle. This is no joke. This is a real thing that occurred. I performed my first miracle like Christ. I was in the woods grounding, and I saw a homeless man who was experiencing homelessness. And he was putting up a tent damn near when it was getting dark out. There was mosquitoes everywhere. And I was reading Neville. I was reading The Secret of Imagination, right? Secret of Prayer. And I saw him out there. I gave him a pyrite crystal, which really represented the wealth. All I told him, I was like, the wealth is going to come to you. It's going to come to you. So the spirit just came to me. He got the chills and shit. Next thing you know, he came back like a week later at the same park after I gave him the crystal and that Palo Santo. I was like, burn this, it'll bless you. Something's going to occur. And I told him to just, like, I was speaking to him, and I feel like this is what Christ meant when he was healing the sick or when he was performing these. He was basically speaking to them from that state of consciousness that they were already healed. So you watching this, I'm already speaking and viewing you as the freaking highest version of yourself, you know? So that's what happened. He came back a week later, said he had an apartment, and I was like blown away. I was really like, wow, this is incredible. Because I gave him a line from Neville God. I was like, believe you hath received and you shall receive. I told him he was the richest I told him he was the freest thing out here. Because a lot of the drifters that kind of come out of society, you know, that experience the homelessness, I've experienced that before. And a lot of times it's all for a reason. So I told him, I was like, this is happening for a reason. I told him, you're surrounded by the spirit right now. Nature is the purest form of spirit, the highest concentrate of spirit. So that's what I felt. I shared that with him. And yeah, that occurred. That was freaking incredible. That literally blew my mind. So it shows you guys that imaginative power of God within all of us, God, you, your consciousness. We could imagine things for each other because there's only one force operating through us, and that's the one self. And that's when we walk with God. So we can imagine these things for each other. You listening to this, comment below what your highest wish is, and I will imagine that for you. We will do that for each other. It's powerful. It's very powerful. Because once you see that the dream is really, you're creating the dream. You're creating the dream in a sense. You can affect others in the most loving way possible. So I want you to think of someone that you've had beef with, or, you know, you thought was an enemy or whatever it may be. I want you to go into your imagination and really just revise it, revision, right? I want you to revise it and to really just see them happy, see them peaceful. You don't need to control it, but this is real. We have to be careful and responsible with this power now, to where it's only used for the highest good, only, for what is in true alignment. You can just breathe. The relaxation is what is really hitting right now, because it's not a chasing. It's most magnetic when you're not looking, you're not reaching. Anything can be going on. This is really the key that I'm seeing. You're peaceful now. You're peaceful within the circumstance. It doesn't matter what is actually happening. You're peaceful in the knowing, the trust, faith in God, faith in it. You know what I mean? And you will carry on as usual. You will do your things. You will work out. You'll train. You'll create. But here's the hack. Fall in love with what is on the current screen of your consciousness. This is paradoxical, but it will freaking work. Fall in love with the detached sense of like just joy or something, to where you see everything that was happening is serving you become the freaking ascended master that you're meant to be. That's when we walk on freaking air. Is when we realize all of this shit is literally serving us to come to this moment, to come to this realization. And it's been trippy. I've been feeling it, to where like this little like ego, you know, self, to where I'm starting to, you will see everyone as kind of a piece of God. It's really unique, this type of perspective. And it gets all the other interference out of the way. I stopped dealing with, you know, feeling like people are attacking me. And I went through that for so long, where I was so convinced that like people are doing spells on me and they're just like, you know, super jealous. I revised that, I reframed that, to where like even whatever is taking place, like Christ says, bless those that persecute you. Pray for those that do you wrong, you know, and you know what I mean? It's real, because it is a reflection of you. This is when we're going to start really being a more joy, more peace, is when I'm not fighting what is. I'm not fighting the spirit. I'm not fighting reality. What's gratitude for this, man? Just really feel that. It's being able to be quiet sometimes too. There's that silence. There's a lot of power in that silence. The silence in between spaces. The silence in between thought going into that no mind. I love this saying, no mind, no problem, right? No mind, no problem. Just realize there really is no limit to the source energy being that you are. All the negativity, everything that used to bother you, that used to rock you to your core, you're going to be walking through those same places. You're going to see those same things that used to hurt you. And now you're going to find the healing from it. You're going to extract, just like the shaman, the medicine from it. Where we turn our pain into our wisdom, and we turn that into the medicine for the village. You become the antidote itself through your consciousness. Just like Buddha says, the dreamer will soon realize he is the entire dream. There's no separation. There's no separation to you and to the wealth, whatever it is, because that desire came from God, through you, as you. How cool is that? To just enter that stillness. Enter that stillness and drop all that expectation, drop all the baggage of needing to look for anything right now, because you already contain it within. This is the major trick. Once you can overcome the sense man and what it sees, in the 3D, it's kind of an optical illusion. It's really smart whoever created it, the reason it was created. We had to gain the clarity and the contrast. We had to see what we didn't want is a perfect roadmap for getting us completely clear on the end state, on the wish fulfilled. So I've been leaning more into that. Forgiveness, gratitude, not judging others. I don't care your freaking level of consciousness. I'm not going to be, some spiritual little egotistical bastard. Or I'm just greater than all of you freaking peons, I'm not looking at it like that. To see it like that. It's a freaking miracle, dude. All of this. This is going to shift your perspective to even the darkest things that you experience. You're going to really look back and be like, man, I am so freaking grateful that happened. Even if your reality seems to be collapsing, it's because something greater is being built. Even if it feels like you've lost everything, something greater is on its way to you, and it's within you. So it's more or less, can I hold that finished creation within myself? Can I birth this reality through my consciousness and trust everything? So much love to you guys. I'm proud of all of you. Stay encouraged. Keep going. Keep going, because that happened to me earlier. Notice that there was nothing happening for weeks. I was like, what's going on? I was getting like low-key kind of impatient, but I stayed persistent. I persisted in it, and I persisted in that imagination. I just kept going there. Even when nothing was happening, I was like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to stay there. That is the real test. This is all just like the initiation. Even the suffering is an initiation to our own awakening, to our own realization and liberation. That is my wish to all beings, is to realize, number one, we are not separate. And number two, this is all serving you. The ego will get stuck in bondage through the mind story of how bad this all is, not realizing that even at rock bottom is the alchemist's perfect laboratory. Perfect laboratory. And you will stop judging yourself too. You will let go of this whole charade, of having to be something. It's really beautiful to perceive through a clear perception of unconditional love, because unconditional love is what you really are. That unconditional love of the I am, underneath all your insecurities, underneath all your fears, doubts, limitations, that was always you, and that was always true and eternally real this entire time. So this kind of just gives us a balance and a peace through whatever's going on. You don't need to have it all figured out right this second. All you must do is really trust and have faith and to keep, creating to the best that you can. And to be thankful in advance. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Feel it real quick with me. You feel that? Feel the silence of the knowing. Feel the silence of the knowing that your grandest wish has already came true. And that you no longer need senses to confirm that, because you realize you're greater than the senses. And that's what holds a lot of us back, is we feel like it has to be perfect right now in the 3D of, and that's what I felt. It's not being lazy with the law. Just I'm gonna sit in my room and just freaking, not do shit. It's more or less you're going to build you're going to build as the one that already had it all. Way before anyone even saw this shit coming. Mark my words. MBS equilibrium, globalistic function, 6-figure, gonna shift the entire planet, going to literally be collabing with all of you. All of you are going to freaking, you are all stars right now. Even if it seems like you, because that was the greatest illusion. Kingdom of heaven's within you. We don't need to chase illusions for peace. You realize that you were the main thing you were looking for, because you were the one that was the source of all you were looking for. All the pain that you felt, the things that you didn't have, it was always there. Even at that most painful moments, that peace was there. Even when you didn't have a dollar to your name, that abundance and prosperity was there. I want you to not forget what I'm saying, but to remember it. Really remember it. This is kind of a shamanic video a little bit. The tobacco is really, it's to be respected, if anything. To really ground ourselves into the wish, into the end, into the gratitude and the grace. Oh my gosh, grace is always with you. That is one thing that I know. When you get out of the way, call it the Tao, call it the force, God always takes care of you. Because God is always going to take care of itself and its own creation. Just like nature is always fed the rain. Just like the animal is always fed its food. You're missing nothing. And when you realize you're lacking nothing, everything belongs to you. Shout out Lao Tzu. What a bar. You're missing nothing. Ground yourself into that. You are whole. I'm going to hit you with this truth, this timeless truth. You are whole and complete right now, and you always have been, even when you didn't feel like that. You will be greater than the feelings of the ego and of the character. You will remember the immortal truth of your timeless state of being. That you were always the abundance you were always struggling for. So you do not need to chase for it. You're going to magnetize it. You're going to be led through the intuition, and the spirit will guide you. So slow down, relax, ground yourself into that. I am that I am, and that is enough. Unconditional love to you. May you feel it. May you feel it, because that is what you really are. Formless, freed, unconditioned. How beautiful the sun shines, because so do you every time. Just like the sun, untouched, unscathed, and unaffected by whatever's going on down here. That is how free you truly are at all times. You don't need to be saintly and walk around like a damn wizard. Do it in the silence. Be that light. Hold that space. That is what I feel for us right now. Hold the space. That's what Grandfather Tobacco is feeling to me. Hold the space. Hold the space for all beings, no matter where they are in their journey. It's here. Relax. You made it. Everything else will flow once you get out of the way. You follow your heart. You follow your spirit. Thank you.